Good job on completing this course. And I'm being serious. We've learned a lot, and not many people worldwide in our industry have this knowledge. I think this is a great achievement for you, and this is why I'm congratulating you on a job well done. Now, how this fits in real life situations: to be able to onboard remotely and securely a system today is important. It is a building block for any system. It's an IoT system or a server somewhere being hosted. This is a really important building block. Then, once we do the enrolling of this new system remotely somewhere in the field, we can generate evidence about the state of the system or the critical data that we're interested in, the data that matters to us. And further, we can even lock cryptographic keys or data to the state of that system using TPM 2.0 policy and PCRs that we learned in this course. This is why I say a job well done. Let's take a closer look now. We call this course in intermediate TPM 2.0 usage. Why is that? Why we chose this interesting name between an introductory, beginner, essentials course and the next advanced course? Well, in TC1101 and 1102, we are providing information about the different TPM operations, or as Zeno calls them, TPM primitives. And we need to do this a bit maybe boring part of the learning curve, so we can then move to solutions, use cases. And as you have these building blocks, you are able to do your own TPM applications. So what building blocks, TPM primitives, we covered in TC1102? Well, for starters, in this course, we learned about the Enhanced System API. We are now moving away from the TPM2 tools, and we are able, as programmers and developers and engineers, to create applications using the C or C++ programming language. Of course, other stacks exist, and we covered this topic at length in TC1101, especially in the conclusion video of TC1101. So we have this building block now, and this course was focused so much on having labs around the eSAPI. And the next step we took was understanding the endorsement hierarchy, understanding how we can verify that our trusted platform module is genuine, and linking it back to the manufacturer when it is a discrete TPM. And we talked briefly about what to do when it's a virtual TPM. It is the same procedure. Of course, you have to consult with your vendor documentation. Would that be Amazon, AWS? Would that be Microsoft Azure? And so on and so on. Then we covered a topic that was in high demand during TC1101, the platform configuration registers. They're so interesting because they're so useful. And we combined that topic not just with attestation. We covered that. You learned how to use TPM attestation. We added enhanced authorization. We learned about PCR policy. And in future courses, we will build on top of that knowledge. So in this course, we covered so many topics, maybe even a bit more than we originally planned, given the length and the vastness of the topics. I'm happy that you completed this course, and I hope that the different labs were not boring, but had a gradual build of complexity and difficulty for you. That being said, a lot of students and professionals during the beta of this course asked us for end solutions that use the TPM to achieve a certain outcome. Would that be the enrollment process? Would that be provisioning of some secrets to the remote systems, or protecting the system? And I want to clarify that building solutions requires us to know the TPM primitives. And this is what we achieved in TC1101 and TC1102. I strongly believe that people who have taken our classes about trusted computing and trusted platform modules are now able to build such solutions. And if you need to discuss the architecture, the design of your end solution, or have some problem, some difficulty, there are places where our developers community gather. One of these places is special for alumni of TC1101 and TC1102. These are the OST2 alumni channels. And as someone who have completed the course, you can join these channels. Just check the information at the end of the course and reach out if you have difficulty joining these channels. Another good place is the TPM2 TSS mailing list that is available publicly. Then another place is the tpm.dev forums that I founded. You'll find over 600 people there that are using TPMs and have developed most of the solutions that you're asking about. Now, that being said, I do believe we need more end solutions based on a TPM. And my advice to you would be to use the existing building blocks. For example, the TPM2 OTP project on the TPM2 software GitHub account has a great value if you need this kind of feature. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. You can just take that open source project and start using it as a building block in your end TPM solution. And of course, if you have questions, reach out to one of the different discussion forums, mailing lists, and try to discuss the nature of the issue. TPMs are complex, and that makes them valuable as well. What to do while you wait for the next course, because it takes us time to create these courses. I would strongly recommend building your very own attestation verifier. It might look trivial at times because it is a verification of a digital signature, then we have comparison of some hash digest values, but putting it all together, it's not that trivial. And I want to give a good example from our beta. A very good critical feedback that we received during the beta of TC1102 was about the sending of the AK name, the digest name of a TPM key during the enrollment and onboarding process. And I thought to myself, wait, this course is an addition to the knowledge and know-how of people. So to me, it felt for a moment that we need to clarify something. Use your existing knowledge about cryptography. Use your existing knowledge about secure system design. If there's sensitive data that you need to transfer to a remote system, use a secure channel. Would that be a TOS backed channel? Would that be using some kind of encryption and then decrypting at the server? It's up to your requirements and for you to decide. It is important to know that whatever knowledge you have existing before this course, it can be combined with the TPM. That's the power of using hardware security. It enforces and increases the guarantees that you can provide about the system security. That feedback was still very good during the beta, and I think it raises an important topic again about end solutions. Here we're teaching about TPM primitives, and for you to go on by yourself and create an attestation server, I think this is a really, really good task for increasing your knowledge and expertise further, because we gave all the building blocks necessary, and it's about your use case, would it be at home or at work, to make it happen. Another interesting perspective is to take a look of what others are already doing. And of course, we can mention Microsoft BitLocker, we can mention the Linux Lux disk encryption system. I think a very interesting piece of software is the bootloader. And for example, U-Boot. I remember when I was using U-Boot a lot, it made impression on me that the TPM support there was hard-coded. The actual TPM commands are hard-coded. Well, it has its benefits, right? You don't have a whole stack to compile in, you're just choosing the commands that you need, and there are only a few of them that you really need to perform a PCR extend, to perform a measurement, and so on. So It's a very interesting piece of open source software that uses PCRs, that performs measure boot, a form of attestation. And I encourage you to take a look and also look around for other applications. For example, key attestation is something that we'll try to look into the next course. And there are articles about that and companies that are using it already. TPM key attestation. So last but not least, I think looking into policies and TPM extended authorization is a topic that is almost never ending. So try to look for different PCR policy usages. You will be surprised that PCR policy is usually used in combination with other policy. For example, for this encryption, we also use a PIN, some kind of a passcode together with that. And if you remember from lecture H, creating TPM 2.0 policy is usually with an AND. To have a logical OR, we have the policy OR command. So it's, I think, a very good thing to look at Linux IMA, to look at Keylime and other reference implementations that exist out there. I want to thank the Trusted Computing Group for supporting these courses, and especially the start, which I think is probably the most difficult part. The Trusted Computing Group already endorsed TC1101, and it is available, I think, since March of this year, 2024. This first step was really important, and I appreciate the support. Zeno, who is the founder of Open Security Training 2, also took a leap of faith with me as an instructor, and I am glad that it has worked out so well that we have built this second course. And this work cannot be done by just one or two people. We actually had to rely on our very good video editor, Hudson Jacobs. Shout out to him. And of course, the many beta testers who took part in verifying the course before we make it public, so other people can benefit from an improved content. And our beta testers are a variety of people. Some are students, others are professionals. So really, we had a very interesting and diverse feedback, and it helped a lot. It helped improve the content. So thanks to all the beta testers. We really appreciate your work and spending of your personal free time to do this work. Thank you. Last but not least, I want to thank Bill Roberts, who is a good friend of mine and who was available to me multiple times during the creation of the course. He was really a good supporting force, because in these complex topics, I can get carried away, I can miss something, and Bill was there to help me and catch things before we even launched the beta. So this is a very appropriate shout out to Bill Roberts and his contribution to TC1102. Thank you, Bill. If you have any questions, just use the discussion boxes after each unit. This way we'll know to what the question relates, and other students who are taking the course, same as you, will be able to answer. And of course, check again for the different mediums that we also have, especially the OST2 alumni channel.